Well, ULA is a publisher. We're not a printer. We developed printing out of the need to do what the artist wanted to do, and we didn't want to go outside the house to do it. So when an artist comes and we put our seal on something, it means that we share that idea that that's what it is. I don't like to take any credit for anything visually. I do have a rapport with most of these people, and we do talk about a lot of the things that are decided and a lot of the things that happen. Selection of paper can be interesting. Even sometimes a suggestion for a plate for color can be interesting. The more interesting and the greater the artist, the more receptive they are to suggestions. I will tell you that it's amazing when you work with people that are really phenomenal thinkers in the art world, how easily they grasp something and how easily they say, yeah, why don't we do that? And it gets so confusing sometimes because you don't know what was and what is. You just, as Bob Rauschenberg said, it's not what we started out to do, it's just a whole lot more interesting. And that's exactly what it is. It is basically a real creative act from the beginning. And we're structured in a way, and that's why it's so difficult for us to work with artists that don't live in the area, is we're structured in a way where an artist comes, like Richard Tuttle. Richard Tuttle is at the studio by 8:30 and 9 o'clock in the morning. He doesn't leave before 6 o'clock in the evening. He works all day. We have lunch all together. Everybody has lunch together. He works all day. He goes back in the evening. He sometimes takes ideas with him. He goes back, he might pin them on the wall, he might put them in his wallet, he might take it with him to Paris or to London, where he just was. And he thinks about it. And then he comes back a week later and he says, I was thinking about this. What do you think of this idea? Recently, and a lot of fun we had with an idea, was he wanted to print on 3 surfaces at one time with one print. He wanted something in the surface, he wanted something on the surface, and he wanted something above the surface. So I suggested, why don't we give you a wood block? You carve something, we'll add something to the surface for another printing surface, and we'll print on the surface that's there. That became the whole theme for a lot of work that we just looked at today, in which you may see in future exhibitions in your collection. But that kind of thought, that kind of thing, is just battering, back and forth. It's not, I'm not trying to say you should do it this way. It's just an idea. And an idea that gets digested, thought, reformulated, and comes back as another way. Not what we started out to do, but a lot more interesting.